Look who showed up.
Don't.
It is 9:29. We usually try to start at 9. Oh, it's 9:30. It's a full 30 minutes late.
Great. Love that.
I was stressed because I was running like 5 minutes behind. I was like, gosh, this is so disrespectful. They're going to think so little of me, rightfully so, because this is really there's no excuse to be 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
And immediately felt vindicated when I walked in and saw no blonde hair other than Paul's, which is darker blonde.
Yeah, I feel like just so you know, I think we're about to she's going to explain why people can't drive. There's a big crash. She texted. We're talking about her like she's not here. She texted, I'm going to be 6 minutes late. And I was like, scheduled text. Because we get those texts most weeks. I think we have a lesbian who cried wolf situation.
Okay, first of all, how dare you call me a lesbian on this podcast?
Explain yourself, the girl.
Okay, here's the deal. And I'm going to look into the camera because I'm dedicating this to all of Atlanta. Y'all don't know how to drive, and it drives me absolutely bonkers crazy. I woke up this morning, and this is why it's the most frustrating is I leave my house at 8:45 because it's a 12-minute drive. I'm scooting in around between 8:57 and 9:02 here for sure. I'm not going to pretend I'm on time all the time. No. But today, I left at 8:37. I know. I left a little bit early. I was like, oh, this is so nice. I'll get a cup of coffee when I get there. Should have known. 3 accidents. There's a little bit of drizzle today, and Atlanta loses its mind. 3 different accidents. And then all the schmoes are trying to go my way because they're trying to avoid the traffic, and then they're backing it up. And some cars stalling out. This city doesn't know what it's doing. You guys need to friggin' figure it out. I'm done.
What's a schmo?
It's a stupid
Average Joe.
Joe. That's what it is.
Do you think we all flew here?
No, I think you guys also didn't come from East Atlanta. I think East Atlanta is a worse driving part of this city.
Yeah.
I came from 20 West, and I mean, your house is in Alpharetta.
It is not.
Oh.
I drop off our dog at his daycare where he learns to be a better dog.
In West Midtown?
In West Midtown. And then I come right down, what's that road?
I don't know.
Howell Mill.
Maybe 1% of listeners live in Atlanta. They're going to name
Don't tell them
roads.
they shouldn't know where the studio is, by the way.
Alpharetta, I-20.
I just want anyone to know that if you come here, prepare yourself because this city doesn't know how to drive. Even when it's sunny, when they get the first day of nice sunshine in the spring, they all get so excited. They're like little puppies. And then they go out and then they crash into each other and they're like dogs that freak out and run into the wall.
Classic schmoes.
Well, the good thing is that this is,
schmoes.
this is your last day on the podcast. So it's
Oh,
fine.
yeah. So it's great. I went out
We
with
can
the
title
bag
this one Hannah's Exit Interview.
and I went out swinging.
Rip the girl.
Rip the girl and rip the curl. Rip curl.
Cool.
Be our sponsor.
Andrew, you had a bad show,
Oh, we can go right to that.
which you often have. I want to hear about it.
Aaron
Heard
was
about
like,
this as well.
what do we have to talk about this week? Well, I was like, well, I have probably just like one of the most upsetting shows of my life this week. If you guys want to hear about my trauma.
He did say that to me and I was like, ooh, get into it.
Yeah, I've been talking about it with people and has not helped it feel better, but maybe this will.
Yeah.
Normally shows go great for me. I'm not taking a lot of big risks on stage at corporate events. I'm doing the material that works, and usually they go somewhere between medium to great.
Right.
I booked this show probably like 6 or 7 months ago. Fundraiser at a very nice venue in Atlanta that I've done other events at that have gone well. And it is actually one of
you
the...
don't want to call them out?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
Yeah. But it also is one of the venues we looked at for our wedding when we were looking at wedding venues. Like it's super nice, cool.
But you didn't use it?
We did not choose it. Maybe that's why it hates me now.
Yeah, maybe it's a
But
curse.
I did an event there a few months ago and it was good. But big fundraiser, 450 people, all dressed up, open bar
Whoa.
for the whole event.
Wow.
This is a corporate thing? This is a
Faith-based fundraiser.
open bar.
With an open bar,
just serving
which
red wine.
normally is my favorite audience, is drunk Christians. Is like the perfect audience for my
They're
stand-up.
really letting loose.
Yeah, I want Christians that are drinking. That is the best laughers for my stuff.
It was just water, but then it turned into an open bar. It was a miracle.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They booked just a water bar. It's crazy. They were like, yeah, we know what we're doing. And when, in all fairness, when I got the inquiry for this gig and I was having like my phone call with them to, hear about what the expectations were, and they go, hey, by the way, our crowd has a really hard time settling down. We've done this event a bunch of years in a row, and whoever's on stage first has a really hard time like getting them to settle down. So what we really want for you is we want you to go up 2 times throughout the night, once kind of towards the beginning and then once after dinner, because we think that since you'll be doing stand up, that will like get them in their seats and get them to stop talking and like get the show going well. And I'm like, yeah, totally. That is usually how it works. So that I'm going to be perfect for that.
Yeah, you're going to wrangle them like a teacher.
And in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, I've done a lot of these events. I know how they go. I can get this crowd settled down. They're going to want to hear me. I'm delightful. So I get to the event. It's super nice bar, food. Everybody's dressed up. They got an auction going on. The what?
What's the name of the bar?
The water bar?
No,
the what?
I'm trying to
figure it out. He's trying to figure out what this event was.
It's just that they have bars set up like at a wedding.
Gotcha. Like at what intersection?
No, it's just a venue.
In what part of town?
I'll tell you all about it after this.
Okay.
Oh.
The details are not
listeners.
important to the actual story.
Okay.
But so basically they have these auctioneers that are going to auction stuff off later. It's this couple, auctioneer duo, super nice, super upbeat. And they go up first and they do one of those classic games normally you have to do for like middle school students to get them to settle down at youth group, where you're like, all right, we're all going to play heads or tails. But the idea is that, all right, pair up with somebody and I'm going to flip a coin. And as soon as I say now, you either grab your head or grab your tail.
This is for adults.
This is for adults.
Okay.
And then if you guess right, then you stay standing. And if you're wrong, you sit down. And then the winner gets a bottle of champagne.
Water.
It was a bottle of Vouv at their table.
Vouv.
So all these adults are standing in their chairs, either grabbing their butts or grabbing their heads. About half of them participated.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, it's not doesn't seem like a great game.
The crowd is not paying attention to this game other than the ones that are paying attention. And I know that I'm right after this. I'm right after heads or tails. And so that kind of goes kind of fine. They get people hopefully mostly in their seats. And then the auctioneer's like, all right, everybody, we got a very special guest tonight. Please put your hands together. He reads some of my credits. He goes, please put your hands together for stand-up comedian Andrew Stanley.
Woo.
And no one stopped talking. No, everyone... It was as if all 450 of them were long lost relatives.
450, we got capacity. It's a clue.
Okay, great.
It's 450. Yep. It was like they were all best friends that hadn't seen each other in 5 years. They're like, I'm sorry, whatever y'all are doing on stage, it could not be less important to us. This is my mother I've not seen in years.
Wow.
And so there are some tables in the front that are paying attention to me. First of all, there's a dance floor.
Love that.
Dance
okay,
floor.
good for
I've never
write down.
I've never been to a fundraiser. They were like, yeah, our crowd is gonna be so into this fundraiser. Afterwards, we're probably just gonna dance.
Yeah,
Even in the middle, we might
stand
do.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dance to stand up.
Well, they weren't on the dance floor while I was doing stand. But I'm saying that there's a dance floor to let you know there's some distance between me and the tables because there's a dance floor right in front of the stage.
Yeah, okay.
So I start talking. I'm kind of like, oh, thanks for having me. And I'm just kind of talking, thinking, all right, after I've been talking for like 45 seconds of kind of like welcoming everybody, they'll have calmed down and I can begin my fun stuff. And they did not at all.
Wow.
And so, I mean, I tried everything. My first set, I had to do just 15 minutes, which is not that bad. But it sure does feel like an hour and a half when you can't even hear yourself talking.
No.
But I mean, I was trying everything I could to get them to settle down. I was shaming them. I was just like, man, can you imagine the arrogance it would take to just keep talking? I said, maybe I should pray. A lot of people will just, if they hear somebody praying, they'll be like, oh, shoot, okay.
We have to.
Bow our heads.
Yeah.
So I literally did a fake prayer. Didn't work. So now I'm going to hell and I had a bad set.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Double whammy. Wait, do you think,
Dear Heavenly Father, this is like, nobody looked.
do you think that maybe the crowd knew about your dad being the worst Christian of the year and they were intentionally icing you out?
I do think that's possible because I got booked for this gig before that news came out, before he was named worst Christian of 2023. So it could be that in response to that, they were boycotting me. They were shunning me.
There's a part of me that thinks like, that's a strong knit community. If word traveled and they're like, we can't be his dad is thumbs up to gays. Maybe we should thumbs down his son.
Yeah.
I also am really excited for the people that are listening to this and didn't hear that deep cut from the end of some episode a month ago.
Yeah, y'all are going to have
yeah.
to go back listen to all the
And
other
it's such
episodes.
a weird specific roast.
to hear
Yeah.
about.
Oh,
You
yeah.
think they know your dad's the worst Christian?
You can just
Whoa.
Google Andy Stanley worst Christian of the year.
That's not even, my opinion. I think he's the best. But someone went out of their way to vote and write an article saying your dad was the worst Christian of the year.
Yeah.
Someone took time to do that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Zanderson Cooper, too. It's crazy.
Zanderson Cooper. Love that. Anderson Cooper's much straighter, much angrier brother.
Xander.
Yeah. Anyway, 15 minutes. I don't get mad very easily, but the emotion I'm feeling most is anger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is ridiculous because I'm getting paid too much to be there to care that much about how much respect I'm getting. But I'm visibly, I'm staying professional and being nice. I'm just, at the end of the day, what you got to do in that situation is perform for the people that are paying attention. And once you've given up trying to get everybody else involved, just do it for them and be respectful and say thank you. And so I did that. Some people did enjoy it, but it was a horrible experience. And so it's that thing where I walk off stage and I introduce, first of all, I hate it when this happens. A lot of times like, okay, and then after you're done, can you please introduce the next people? And I'm used to being at a comedy club where they're standing right there, and as you say their name, they're walking on stage, and I have to introduce like the two chairmen or something that are coming up, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give them a really good intro, try to get everybody clapping, so maybe everybody will settle down for them. So I'm like, all right, everybody, that's it for me. Thank you guys for those of you that pay attention. Please put your hands together right now for the co-chairman, whatever, blah 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 and blah blah blah, and like. I could see them like start walking from the back of the they're just like not there. There's like another weird transition. I'm like, oh no, like I could have helped this next part maybe be less bad as my part, but they calmed down for the important stuff, which was like the information about the organization after me, which I think, and I learned they really were just wanting me to be a bullet to hand, because they said last year that same crowd talked over the person who was actually giving like important information.
Whoa.
Which made me feel a little bit better.
Are you the bullet or are you the crash test dummy?
Yeah, I feel. Who
You're
knows?
the thing getting shot.
Both.
I felt like I had been in a car accident. But here's the thing: I had to do another set.
Wait, in the same show?
That,
yeah,
the same thing.
Yeah, so they needed me to come back up after dinner. So thankfully they have me in like a little green room. So I had a place to like go lick my wounds
and cry
and like come up with like what I was gonna say when I had to go back up there in front of all my enemies. But it's awful because I had to walk like off the stage and walk all the way like around the room to get to my green room. And like there were several women that stood up to come and like console me. Like they were like, he's clearly
upset.
Needs
That's nice.
Needs a hug or something. like, oh my God, we thought it was so funny. I'm so sorry. Everybody was. And they're like, as if I was a little kid that struck out in the game. And they're like, you get him next time. You actually, you know what? I think that was a bad call that the umpire made. And I was just like, thank you. This is not helping. And I go back up to my green room and I'm like, all right, I have like 45 minutes before I go back up. I only have to do 5 minutes for the second set.
Oh, nice.
Because basically they want me to just be another buffer in between dinner being eaten and when the good stuff starts again, or the main stuff. And so I go up there and I'm like, all right, I went up there. I felt bad for myself for like a minute. And then I was like, all right, let's try to make this next 5 minutes. Let's just really try to win them back, come up with some fun things to say about how that went earlier. And so I thought of some stuff, and then I thought of the 2 bits I was going to do because I only had 5 minutes. And so first of all, they were like, all right, so just walk back up there and start dinner. And I was like, no, someone needs to make an announcement like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage. They wanted me to just walk up there cold and be like, hey, everybody. I was like, no, please do.
Oh my gosh.
So they did a voice of God announcement of like, please welcome back to the stage, comedian Andrew Stanley. And a little bit more paying attention because everybody's at least at their tables. And
they're full. Did they eat dinner?
And I felt like I had a really good line. And I was like, if this works, I think I'll win them over. If this doesn't work, then it's a lost cause. Yep. And I said, thank you guys so much. Half of you guys are like, oh my gosh, they made that poor comedian come back up here. And the other half of you are like, whoa, there's a comedian here tonight.
How'd it land?
Pretty good. Acknowledges that half of them were being disrespectful without being angry at them.
Did they enjoy it?
And they laughed, but only the half that was already paying attention.
That hurts.
And then I did 5 minutes. It went better, but not great. And then I walked off stage and went straight to my car.
Gosh.
Cried some more.
Yeah.
Man.
But the lady sent me a very nice email this week. The owner or the main person of the organization was like, thank you so much. Everybody says that was listening, say you did great. Sorry our crowd's so hard to wrangle.
At least she knows.
At least
she's
aware.
It's all about just impressing the person that hired you, right?
Totally.
Yeah, that's true. Part of it too was stand-up comedy is great because it humbles you. If you have like some really good shows, you know that one like this is coming around the corner. Because I had just done the last 2 nights right before that. I went and did shows with our friend John Christ, sold out theaters. You know,
crushed.
The most attentive, best audience ever. You got to crush for 20 minutes both nights, And then next thing you know, you're talking into the void.
Oof.
Hate that. That's
Pretty good.
I got the whole experience in December with bad show and good show.
Yeah.
And how much I enjoyed the good show just is not going to really outweigh the bad show. So I'm good.
You can't get too high, can't get too low.
You know what I mean?
No, you
know?
gotta bounce back. You gotta rise above.
It's like improv.
I've never had a bad show, so kind of hard for me to relate.
Dang.
Just kidding. That's
What
not
about
true.
the shows when you're 30 minutes late and everyone's pissed?
Those shows also, I find my way back in. I'm pretty good at charming the audience, and this audience is small, but I think I got them.
Yeah.
I think I got them. Yeah. No, that's not true. Improv is the scariest when you're doing bad because you start to panic a little bit because you don't have the jokes pre-written, and you go, I gotta find a way.
Yeah.
And I've had some crash and burns for sure.
For sure.
Anna and I once did a show, worst show we've ever done. There was like a shooting recently, or like no, at the time there had been like a shooting. We did a show.
That'll kill a show for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Bang, bang. But she and I beforehand were like, we should really make sure not to talk about like guns at all. And
Yeah.
of course, when you do that,
Can't do that.
we literally went on stage and we were doing this show about someone that was like, there were kids involved. And Anna like made an offhand comment. She's like, well, what if I just like take them all down and had like a gun? And the audience like, and we both looked at each other and we were like, and the audience went, like audibly groaned at us.
It's
And
like
it was
one of the big school shootings.
something like that. Yeah. And we just like, it just
Gosh,
was
it was
top of
local.
mind and we couldn't, and we found our way out of it. We made the kids all like come back to, and it also, we do sometimes like very like dark, silly horror. And it was about these like kids who were in a cult like fighting back against something. And some of them were like, we're in battle. It was weird. I don't remember the context, but we had them all. Then we panicked and we're like, look, they're all coming back to life. It was pretty bad, but I'll never forget it. It was she and I got off stage and looked at each other and kind of thought maybe we should give up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the end of it.
It's the worst feeling to be like, you're just like, oh, could I ever do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Anna was like, we don't need to take suggestions from the audience. I got something, a really good setup from
Well,
the news.
We did get a suggestion from the audience. We just happened to like hammer it home so hard before being like, we really shouldn't like touch on this at all, you know? And the more you
Yeah,
do it, I
you
swear
can't
on
do
my
that.
life, the more you talk about it.
For sure.
You can't put that in your head before the show. I did when I was like my first year of stand up, I got to go do a showcase at Zany's in Nashville, which is an awesome club. And I was super nervous and excited to get to do a set there. And I don't know if I knew this ahead of time or not, but it turned out to be like an event for moms of kids with special needs. The whole audience, mothers of kids with special needs. Mm-hmm. It's like an organization. And it was me and some other comedians, and we're all in the green room. And a woman comes back before the show with a poster board. And we're just like, this cannot be good. First of all, how are people getting back here? And she goes, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm the chairman for moms of kids with special needs or whatever it was. And she goes, and I would just love it if before the show started, if each of you signed this pledge that you won't use the R word on stage.
Oh.
As if we were all be like, you know what would be funny to say to these moms of kids with special needs?
There goes half my bits, lady.
Hey. And we were all just like, yeah, of course we're not going to say. First of all, none of us say that in our act anyway. And also, how dull would we have to be to do it?
Andrew's like, I can't sign that.
But then as soon as she walked out of the room, we were all just like, so worried we were going to do it now. We were like, that's all we're going to think about the whole time we're on stage today. I was like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. And then one of us is going to, so I said it a bunch.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
You know, and to kind of piggyback on that,
I made eye contact with her and I said it.
and you didn't blink.
Yeah.
Like, I will. I used to think that as a comedian, you've been doing it for a while. You're like, we're in 2023, 2024. People aren't doing those things anymore. And then I went to a show and I did a show in like Dahlonega. And we got a suggestion.
That's North Georgia, fam.
It's
a different world.
It's the red part of Georgia. Just saying.
They got the mine train.
Yeah.
They do.
We got a suggestion from the audience for a game. We were like guests on someone's show, and they did a game where they're like, hey, we interview someone from the audience, and then we try and recreate a day in their life. And the bit is that you over exaggerate everything. So if one person's playing the person you interviewed, you're like, oh, 5 a.m. I wake up, and they're kind of like, not true. So it's kind of this fun interactive game. And the guy hosting the show was like, ma'am, like, what do you do? And she's like, oh, I work with like special needs. And he's like, great, that's all we need. And I was like, hold on. Maybe we could get a couple more things from her, like get more things about her life. And I'm like asking
He's
her
like,
thing.
oh, I got this.
And then we like did the show. I'll never forget. Anna and I both were like, and I stopped. I was like, "Who do you want, ma'am? Who do you want to play you in this skit?" And I'm trying to like set it up so it'll be me.
Please.
I'm like, not to say I'm pretty good at impersonating. And she's like, "You." I'm like, "Great." So I'm going through the show. So far, it's pretty good. And then I'm like, "Oh, I'm at to work." I bike to work, doing the whole. Everyone's laughing. A couple of the improvisers from Delana go, "Step on stage and do exactly what you think what they shouldn't do."
Doing, like,
yes,
It's the
voices.
voices and things. And Anna and
Trump
I,
impersonating the journalist.
yes, and we both were like, Anna and I were freaking. And all I could think to do, truly in a moment of panic, I've never panicked harder. I just started singing. I went, L is for the way. And then I got the whole audience to sing with me. And that's how we ended the set. I didn't know I'm like, I don't know how to respond to this. These grown adults are pretending to be like autistic and special needs children and talking about how they're about to have like a freak out and like using noises. And I was like, I looked at Anna and I was like, L is for the way you look. Everybody. And then everyone started singing. And that's how we ended the show.
That's your panic button.
That
Is like,
apparently-
I guess I'll just break into song.
Apparently, and that song of all songs had nothing to do with anything we talked about. I was like,
That's white kryptonite.
Is there-
There's some
Apparently.
songs where you're like, oh, I'm in.
It's not even special needs related song.
no, not
What
at all.
could-
Yeah,
is there-
Sweet Caroline just bum 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 bum.
Bum, bum, bum. What song will get people to forget what happened the fastest? That's amazing. I would pay money to have seen the show.
It is Anna and I still reference it. It was wild. Well, it was quite insane.
That's a fun bit now when someone just goes off the rails. You can start singing to each other.
I think so. And it has to be that song where he's like, oh.
But it
Incredible.
is funny. But like, you remember what was the Johnny Knoxville movie where he's the coach for Special
Ringer.
Olympics and he pretends to be special needs?
The Ringer.
Yeah.
Is that movie okay still? Because I remember last time I watched it, I was like, this is actually sweet and I think okay. But maybe it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, it could
It's not
be
for us to say, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
But-
And it's probably one of those cases where people are offended on behalf of other people. Then maybe
But
if you
they
ask
use so
the
many
right people, they're
special
like,
needs.
we're down. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
well,
true.
Back off. I don't know.
I think it helped they used so many special needs actors that were in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
It made
either.
me think of that because that's the only example I would think of, like somebody really leaning into that impression and playing a character doing the impression.
Right.
Yeah. It's tough.
That is very
Yeah.
tough.
That's tough.
I don't know.
Let's,
That's
let's
not
do-
something we should solve in
Let's
the
do an
St. Andre
episode
podcast.
Yeah, let's do an episode, The Ringer episode, where
We'll definitively say if it's okay or not.
it's a watch along.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Three
yeah.
able-bodied people, like we'll be like, we're the ones who get to decide if it's okay or not.
Not only are we your favorite not golf podcast, we're your moral compass.
Yeah.
Amen.
And we all really like watching Shane Gillis, so we probably should not take a high
That's
horse.
true.
That is
a good
also
one.
true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
also true.
I've ever seen.
I know you had a hard week, but in your show, I had a great week in that I started going to a new therapist. I went to a therapist because clap it up.
We traveled together last weekend. Sister, you need it.
Did your old therapist fire you for being late all the time?
No, she didn't. She just started moving her sessions to her home, and I said, I think I'm okay.
He's got a wedding ring on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
don't
What'd you
smack
say?
the wedding ring, dude. This is tungsten or something. Platinum.
I'm kind of glad that you got hurt doing that high five.
Yeah.
Yeah, you deserved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also not wondering if I should go back because she said in the session, you're very self-aware. So I'm like, then why am I even here?
yeah.
Isn't that the whole point to me in therapy to be self-aware? And she said I got it. So I kind of think
That's
I won.
not the whole point.
No, it is. I
Yeah.
think I won at therapy. So should I go back? Who knows?
It's like you are up, but you know you are.
Yeah.
That doesn't
like,
solve it. That just
Yeah.
means
I don't know.
that
If
was
I'm
the
up
big
and
one, producer Paul.
Oh, sorry.
You know you're very self-aware. I know.
Trust me, I
know.
know, Dr. Therapist.
Yeah, doctor therapist.
Now what?
We did, travel for the PGA Tour Superstore Summit last week.
Oh, yeah.
Our Airbnb, thin walls. We all mentioned it. Very thin walls. The last night, Seth and I went to bed. We got home from dinner and went to bed at 9:30. Y'all all walked to a gas station, got some booze, and hung out outside.
Yeah, we got some beers.
Bought some beers for teenagers at the gas
I
station.
would just tune in every once in a while, and there was always there's some big conversations going on.
It was some existential
I was
conversations.
really hoping y'all would drive straight to therapy when you get home.
All right. We
No, it's
got
good.
deep.
Aaron comes out of his room like halfway. Are y'all seeing therapists about this stuff? Because
Yeah.
Also, save it for them. I'm trying to sleep. Yeah. Sorry, we just wanted a bond.
No, it was good.
We bought Lifesaver gummies as well.
Nice.
Well, very good.
It's always a wild checkout experience at the gas station that time of night. It's like, yep, I want case of beer, some Lifesaver gummies, and a bag of nuts.
That was 100% what we got.
Yeah.
And I think someone got a meat stick. So there it is.
Sometimes
All got a
you
Slim
need-
Jim.
You need a meat stick.
Sometimes you need a meat stick.
They make these ones that they sell at Publix that I like that are turkey beef, turkey jerky sticks.
Man, we reached the end of the podcast, didn't we? It's just
Turkey jerky
Please
sticks.
sponsor us,
Scraping the
turkey
bottom.
jerky sticks.
we do have a couple golf things to talk about.
Hard.
What?
I meant to say hard and it came out hard.
Yeah.
What's up?
I do need to go to therapy.
This is coming out next week, which means the second half of the Long Drink Classic Invitational Open featuring Joel Damon is on YouTube. Please check it out. It is my favorite thing we've ever done on YouTube.
Yeah. And if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, it's already right next to this, probably.
Yeah, probably.
You don't have anything to do today. Just keep scrolling, babe.
Yeah, what is y'all's favorite part of the first half?
I
the part-
didn't watch it. I
Yeah.
didn't get invited to be a part. I didn't even know about it.
I think my favorite part is when he mentions me being the funniest one. I don't know that I needed to watch after that.
That is true. You saw the trailer, is what you saw.
I saw the
on Instagram.
I saw the
30-second trailer.
And I go, that's enough.
I heard that there's a part in it where Mike Pointer,
Mike Pointer. Yeah.
Mike Pointer,
Of the Pointer Brothers.
is trying to hit a drive with a McMuffin falling out of his mouth. That seems like something I would want to see.
Yeah, it's great television or social media, YouTube, whatever.
Same.
So the deal here, if you haven't seen the first one, which I know you guys have
have.
seen it, yeah, for sure. You lose a hole, you chug a long drink. It's me and the Pointer Brothers versus Joel Damon, PGA Tour Pro winner.
Yeah.
He's the breakout star of Full Swing, the documentary on Netflix. We hung in there for the front nine, and we each had a couple long drinks on the front nine. We'd win a hole, then he'd win one. It was back and forth. I think starting on 10, he was one up, or it was all square. He was one up.
Are you guys playing like scramble?
Yeah, 3v1.
So you play each other's best shot, or you're each playing your own ball?
Me and the Pointer Brothers on a team.
playing best
Yeah,
shot.
but playing best
Yeah,
shot.
scramble.
Oh.
Yeah. And then it's always confusing because best ball is different.
Right.
You know, we were doing a scramble and he was playing his own ball straight up.
Got it.
Heard.
And on the back nine, he hit the gas and does well without spoilers. But I think it was like 8 or 9 long drinks,
Yeah.
Each?
something like that. There's a counter, and there's one Pointer Brother that definitely took it a little harder than everyone else. But
can't-
then
Turns out Pointer Brothers are not all built the same.
no, that's very true.
Wow.
And yeah, we had backup McMuffs, and
Oh.
there's my favorite segment is Mike it realizes his shot and shoves the whole thing in his mouth, and he's standing over the ball and he won't back off. Normally, you hear a noise, you laugh and you back off and like reset, and he is just committed and he's trying to be like, stop laughing, and it's falling out of his mouth, and all 4 of us are cry laughing,
Great.
and it's my favorite thing we've done on YouTube. Please watch it.
Wow. High praise.
Yeah, it's
I
very.
That
might
is-
watch it if I
that
run
is
out of
great.
other stuff I want to watch.
Yeah, Henry's the one who gets obliterated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Definitely spoil. You're kind of a, not to put you on blast, but you're like a tank. You can hold your liquor.
Yeah, I'm a tank.
So how many, you were feeling it not so much, or were you kind of like light work, easy day?
I was feeling it a little bit only because we chug them, and I think that's I don't know the science there, but it feels like you just go straight into the blood,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I hear that.
whatever that means. So there's like 3, and I was like, I feel it a little bit, just real quick, because your brain is like, that's so much alcohol.
Do you think there's an amount of long drink would not want you to drink on in a video to be like, hey, maybe this isn't a good reflection of how many you should be drinking?
Yes, for sure, especially when we drive the golf carts into a tree.
sponsor a long drink.
We did have to. We would complain and then realize it's sponsored content, and then be like, "But they taste so good. It's
Yeah.
just a lot of bubbles."
No, I'm glad to be drinking my 11th one.
It's just
I love it.
horrific
Here's the
burps.
thing, I
And
don't
you're
want
like,
11
you
of
could be like
anything.
this too.
Yeah. Doesn't this make you want one of these?
Yeah,
Ew.
it was a lot. It was a lot of long drinks, but we still love them.
Since it's
Yeah.
one of our like collaboration partnership sponsors, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a weird sense of ownership over long drink. I was at a show last night and someone was holding it and I was like, that's mine.
That's mine. You
I
just
remember
take it.
thinking- I'm like, that's mine.
Thanks for buying that. I got some of the
Yeah.
what you spent on it.
I know,
That
and I
goes
know
to
that
me.
that's not logical that they existed long before us and probably don't need us. But every time I see someone drinking, I have to fight the impulse to go,
We're with them.
I'm with them.
Yeah.
Thanks for supporting my business. I'm essentially saying it's hard for me to not make it about myself.
I get that.
I need to stay in therapy.
Yeah, well, whenever I see somebody wearing Roback, I try to do a secret handshake with them.
Oh.
The Roback slap.
It is
Which
weird
is-
because you don't have to explain it because it's so confusing to explain in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I've done that out and about. I'm like, long drink. And they're like, nice.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you say that?
Why did I
You
do
know?
that?
It's not
I'm
if
just
I
trying to
had
connect
one, I
with
was
you.
like, good choice. That makes sense. And Roback saying, like, Roback. All right.
Yeah.
It's weird for everybody.
It is. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Especially because the rollback handshake is just a big kiss.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, oh shoot, that wasn't actually a Roback logo. I thought
Yeah.
it was.
And
I
you're
just
like, well-
kissed that guy for no reason.
Yeah, he's kissed that guy for no reason. Didn't hate it though.
Yeah.
And some other breaking news that you guys don't know because I just solidified plans. I'm going to
Okay.
do so.
Are you
Some
texting during this?
No, right before.
Huh.
Some podcast investigative journalism. I'm going to go to the Waste Management Open.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to
Lucky.
be on the 16th hole for like 2.5 days.
That rules.
So I am very excited to report back on what that is like. I'm so scared.
That's
Yeah.
going to be insane, dude. People
Yeah.
are going to love you there.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a blast and a
Our
half.
friends got a little sweet action, so we're gonna. That was
Hey,
the.
yo.
It's flights are insane right now to get there because everyone's going there at the exact same time. But with the suite, I was like, all right, I'll do it.
What are
That'd be
What are the
blast.
dates?
May 2nd.
Cool.
Cool. See you there.
These flights are already crazy for that.
Oh no, I thought you were gonna try to go.
Wow,
it's
he
the
wanted to
second-
gatekeep
it's
his
second-
good time from you.
The second week of February. It's like February 7th, 8th, 9th, or something like that.
Yeah, dude, I'm too busy with my
Yeah, you
career
got
to be coming
shows.
to that.
7th,
You got
8th,
shows
9th
to
is
bomb
right around,
on.
it's right around
Yeah,
the corner.
I gotta-
Of course they're expensive.
Yeah.
I got to go do more shows for My Pillow Inc.
Is that what that was?
No.
Oh, Mike Lindell.
Yeah, it was a My Pillow fundraiser. Those guys are nuts.
So I'm gonna report back. I'll also miss the pod that week.
What?
Uh-oh.
So
Oh, the episode where Andrew and
Dad's-
Hannah take
Dad's
over.
gone.
I really
Dad's
hope no
gone,
one sits
Daddy.
in on here and y'all are like an old sad married couple in a manor.
And we just keep looking and there's silence.
We'll get Robbie to come fill in for you.
That would be great.
Oh my gosh.
Be our
I'll be very sad
babysitter.
to miss that, but
We should get a
get it.
babysitter to come.
That'd be very funny. Robbie, Mr. Spiral, I would love that. We should just bring Robbie on and just bring up all the things that he's done that in a passive aggressive way. I texted Aaron yesterday. I didn't respond to Robbie for 20 minutes in a text. And he followed up with like, just kidding. Hope you're not mad. And I was like, I was driving, Robbie. And he truly did spiral out of control. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no response. I was like, sorry.
if you don't know,
Robbie's head of finance for St.
I know we haven't talked
panicked.
about Robbie much on the pod. He's one of the partners in St. Andre. He's in a lot of the matches on YouTube too. A lot of them. He looks like he's a busted Tim Tebow.
And he's a sweet boy.
He's the most lovable.
He's
dude.
a father
He's a father somehow.
yeah.
somehow. Yep.
Somehow.
Yeah, there's a.
Husband.
I kind of.
Oh, my brother's having a baby today.
really
Today.
Whoa.
Congrats.
Yeah, speaking of fathers.
That's crazy.
What do you do when you go to the hospital to see a newborn baby?
Bring 'em-
How should I be when I'm there?
I mean, I only grab the baby if they offer it to you.
I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say, make sure you hold that baby.
Make sure you let that baby know that you're
Imprint
gonna,
on that baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, shirtless. That's a big thing.
Oh, skin to skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want
For uncles too.
I want my
You
new
being
niece
shirtless.
to know that I'm there for her, and so yeah, I'll probably just show up to the hospital without a shirt on.
I think that's
Go
smart.
ahead and be prepped.
Skin to skin. Like no, we just need
Yeah.
to write your name.
Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley. There's a shirtless man saying he's your brother and that he needs to hold the baby. Should we let him back?
How much do you look like your brother?
Not that much.
Darn. Because I can say you could really confuse the baby. If you get in there early enough without your shirt on and connect with it, you
Yeah.
might think to call you Papa.
Yeah,
before he calls his own
I don't want
father.
the responsibility of that.
Oh.
But I do want to be the best uncle I can be. And I didn't with my other niece. I did not show up to the hospital. I had a shirt on the whole time. And I feel like
That's why she hates you.
There's
Yeah.
maybe like a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, asked to hold the baby. What else should I know? Have you guys done this?
Yeah, I did it recently. Courtney's friends had twins.
Whoa.
Oh, you probably get to hold at least one most of the time.
Yeah. They pass those things around a lot.
Yeah. Gosh, twins would be so hard.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
Identical or fraternal?
Fraternal.
Ah, nice. You can tell them
Two
apart.
boys, but fraternal.
Great.
Yeah.
Easy job. Easy setup.
Yeah. No, I think they're doing great. I mean, I don't know. I think if I've heard that if you have a kid and then have twins, like you have one baby, but having two kind of on the same schedule helps a ton. It's like you start with twins.
Yeah.
I don't know. They say they're having a good time.
That's the great Jim Gaffigan bit about what's it like having 7 kids. It's like, well, imagine you're drowning and then someone hands you a baby.
Oh, great. Remember
Pretty
that show, John and Kate plus 8? They're not doing well now.
I think they had a big problem.
Yeah, they had a big, I think, marriage problem and other things. But I remember that show being like, that's crazy. She had what, 6? 6 at one time or something? She had 2 that weren't
6
part
at the same time.
Yeah, because it was John and Kate plus 8, but I think like 2 of them were not a part of the big bundle. Jeez. Can you imagine? You're like, 6 came out. There's one.
Octomom, remember her? She had 8.
Oh, yeah.
Well, imagine being one of the other kids, and then your whole life you're known for being a part of the family. Like, oh, cool. Are you one of the 6? And you're like, no, I was individual.
Yeah, I'm less interesting. But that person probably went on to be like a great emo punk singer.
Yeah, imagine the songs, the unique angle you could have on art.
Totally.
By saying I had 6 brothers all at once.
Octomom's a great band name.
Totally.
Where do the babies go?
That's what I'm
Where
wondering.
do you hold them in there?
I also just feel like my heart goes out to the woman that's like,
Probably like up to the shoulders.
Yeah, you got a collarbone kid.
They're probably all around.
sitting
You
in
got
your
a kidney
sternum.
baby.
You probably get 2 in the butt. Each butt cheek has a baby, probably.
A lot of fat there, yeah.
Maybe 1 in each calf. And
Maybe.
then shoulder.
You have a couple calves.
Calf babies.
Like a
Yeah,
little-
but you can't. Then they can't be in the butt because then you'd be sitting on them.
You can't have 8 right here.
But
They
that's
gotta
crazy.
float.
Have you seen something like
mean,
this? By
dogs-
the end, their
dogs
tummies
do
are
it.
pretty big.
But 8?
But they're preemie, I think. I think they're pretty small.
Did
I
they
don't
have to
think
come
they're
out
like,
earlier?
I don't know. But can you also, I was just thinking, like, imagine being like, oh, I did the work of 1, which is hard enough. And they're like 7 to go.
How many
7 more.
How many hospital staff do you think have to be in the room during the birth of 8 children?
8. 1 for each.
Just one for each.
Yeah. They come out, 1 grabs, and they just do it. There's like it's
feel
like
like-
a factory line.
I feel like the hospital would have to do construction to make a room big enough for the needs of an
Yeah.
octomom.
Yeah, and I don't think surely it's not the same pain 8 times in a row.
I'm
Surely it's
imagining
like
they're cutting those things out,
a
not
damn
delivering
door falls
them.
over, and then it's just
I would hope, yeah, maybe the shock takes her out of it. She's thinking about something else.
yeah,
I think it's just like a revolving door, at
Yeah,
like a
it's-
hotel.
Yeah.
for sure.
They just come right out.
Or
one
it's
at a time.
like, if we're 5 people in this room, if we all walk through a door, we don't close it after every person leaves. You just leave it open.
You know what? You
That's
should be
true.
a doctor. I think that's
Maybe
exactly how it works.
Each baby holds on to the leg of the baby before it, so they come out all in one. Like
That'd be nice.
Like
That would
a
be
Baby
nice.
train.
I'm also highly concerned that you both have significant others in your life that are women.
We obviously haven't started having conversations about kids yet. I got a lot to learn.
I'm just more worried that you don't know anything about the female anatomy.
Well,
and that
I
you
feel
think
like
it's like a door situation where
Listen,
when it comes out, the door just stays half ajar.
I don't want to get graphic here, but sometimes I think that is kind of how it works.
I don't think so.
There's sometimes there's some full tearing going on.
Oh, it
The
doesn't
baby's
mean
name
that
is-
like
the baby's name is
the door
Taryn?
doesn't. It's a tension thing.
All I know is I have
No,
a
it
lot of
isn't.
really good questions for my brother's doctor today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please,
thank you.
Could you just go and send me the audio of this podcast so I can just play it for him today?
I think that's probably for the best.
That'd be easier than
I
me trying
think
to
it
remember all
has
our
to be
questions.
90% male listening audience right now.
Yeah.
We would love to give you this platform right now to explain childbirth.
Are you giving it to me right now?
Yeah, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. When a man loves a woman, deeply loves her, and has decided to commit feelings to her, he also commits fluid to her.
Okay.
And, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's short. But the reality is sometimes when things work out perfectly, the strongest swimmer finds the strongest basker.
I was mainly talking about
an egg is-
childbirth.
an egg is basking?
This is you're starting too soon early.
Oh, okay.
In the
Okay, sorry.
process.
Sped it up. The
We're
sperm
at
finds.
the hospital.
We're at the hospital. The baby's been incubating. She's been cooking. She's ready. It takes about 9 months for that thing to cook up. And you get there, and what happens is essentially the baby's like, knock, knock, here I go. Knocks on that door you're talking about.
Yeah.
The door that's closed that is not a swinging door, despite what you may
Because
believe.
it stays open.
No, it stays closed. And they're like, but you know what? I got
So
to
it
get
kind of
out
is
of
a
here.
swinging door because it like immediately closes again.
No, it just stays closed. There's like a lock on the door. Okay?
Okay.
And that baby's like, I have the key, but it's actually not the perfect fit. So I'm just going to push my way out. And the doctors are like, great, we will welcome you with open arms.
So it's like a rolling stone door in a tomb.
Probably don't
Have you
wanna
ever seen
have
Ace
open
Ventura
arms.
when he's in the rhino and he comes out the rhino's?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is childbirth. For
Okay.
every man watching this, yeah.
I got it now.
Yeah.
All right.
You're like trying to get out and everyone's watching going, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Do you think, Aaron, that you would watch your child be born?
That's a really good question.
That is a good question.
I know I would cut the little dingle. What's it called?
Umbilical cord?
Yes.
Nice.
Apparently those are very nutritious.
The cord or the placenta?
The placenta.
I don't know.
Would
Yeah,
you
points,
eat the
points.
But I
Yeah,
know
you got
that,
points. Nice
but I
job.
know you can save the umbilical cord, and then if you ever need stem cells later, that's the place to get it from.
Oh, interesting.
So they have places where you, like a bank, where you keep your umbilical cord. Like I could still have my umbilical cord if my parents saved it and put it in one of these banks. And then if I ever needed stem cells, that's like the richest place to go back and get your own stem cells from.
And they just stay for that long?
After
yeah, they preserve it. They put
after
it.
Hannah explains childbirth, I need you to explain stem cells.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Placenta, I know like Gwyneth Paltrow just
She's non
as
on
like a
that.
private cook and like
Yeah, she eating that.
makes smoothies, does the whole thing. I don't know. If it's nutritious and it helped me bond more with the baby, I would do it because I want to be a great father.
Yeah.
Wow.
But would you want to watch the whole birth from behind the curtain or in front of the curtain?
Don't call it curtains.
They, it's not a door, it's a curtain.
It's curtains.
I'm not squeamish. I had a doctor roommate. I'm not going to name names, but he was HIPAA violating every day. He'd come home and just show me photos on his phone, and I'm like, "What is that?" And he's like, "That's someone's head." I'm like, "Jeez."
It is crazy.
Dude, you knew a doctor that had to have a roommate? It's
He was
embarrassing.
in residency
Oh, yeah,
in our
that's
rotations.
Okay.
He has a mansion in Nashville now.
Yeah.
I'm giving clues. Yeah, I'd probably. I'll be there. I might glance, but I'm not like I have to see it.
Yeah.
have
I
to
think
see
I
it
would
emerge.
approach it like a scary movie with like a pillow that I can maybe peek over.
through fingers
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah. My brother was trying to figure that out, so I thought I'd ask you what you
Yeah,
guys think.
please let us
I don't
know
know
what he does.
I don't know if he even made a decision yet.
Okay. Please keep going.
That's pretty much the baby starts coming out. Sometimes they'll induce it if they need the baby to come out, but it's not doing it on its own because it's bad for the baby to stay in too long. It's it's hard. It's hard being pregnant. There's a lot of complications.
It's like a casserole. You
like
don't
getting-
want it to.
You don't want to burn it.
Yeah.
It's like getting buried alive
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
in your
Burn
mom.
it.
And so the baby comes out. Usually head first is ideal. You don't really want that, right? I'm pretty sure it's head
Yeah.
first. They
Well,
want the
think
baby
about how
coming-
our bodies are shaped.
Yeah.
Pull me this way. I can be one piece. If you can pull me
me
that
this
way,
way, yeah,
I'm
one
gonna
of these.
star. I'm gonna star out.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
You're right.
You don't
Caught
give birth
up.
to a little starfish.
Yeah.
Sounds awful. Then the baby comes out, looks at the doctor and goes, "Daddy," and he goes, Then gives it to the mama.
Spank.
He spanks it.
Why they
Yeah.
spank?
They
Who's
spank
been a
sometimes
bad boy for hurting mama?
for hurting mama, and they're like, "Look what you've done to her. Look at her," because the mom looks tough. She looks rough.
Look what you've done to her.
But no, they usually will like take them out and kind of take one of those suckers. So sometimes to get the baby breathing. Sometimes when babies come out, they have a lot of fluid. Sometimes they don't always all come out crying like in the movies. Sometimes they'll take something and they'll suck, and then
Like
the baby's-
drainage? Like
yeah.
Got it.
Wow.
And
They
then
would sucker like after you get out of the dentist, they give you a sucker.
they
I
also
was
do
like,
that.
That feels early.
Yeah, they're like, just give it a little sugar. It's fine.
Yeah. Get some sugar in that system.
And then they give it to the mom.
And because they cut the dongle.
Well, the father's there to cut the dongle because the dongle is attached to the placenta. So what is also crazy is I've heard women say that you give birth to the baby, then you also have to give birth to the placenta. The placenta comes out after. So it's like the baby comes out, then the placenta comes out. You cut from the
And
placenta.
it's on this little rope,
Yep.
which is the umbilical cord.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the rope.
Yep. And you chop that bad boy. I don't know if they do it right after the baby comes out or like, usually I think they do. And then they ask dad if he wants to do it. Put the placenta aside, give baby to mama.
And then they're like, yes, chef, here's the placenta. Cook it up.
chef.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just Gwyneth Paltrow. She's like, put it on ice.
Yeah, having extra kids so she can have extra placenta.
Or just taking placenta from other people.
from
I wonder if
others.
she's like in hospitals being like, you gonna eat that?
Yeah.
Because I'm going on bone broth right now. I could use a little meat.
Yeah. A little protein.
Well, whatever our listeners thought at the beginning of this episode that we'd be talking about, I guarantee they didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
And neither did we.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, next week I'll give a recap on how everything goes at the hospital.
Can't
Yeah.
wait.
We're going to get a big influx of listeners from Victor Cruz. They're like, oh, look, my new favorite sports podcast.
Yeah.
Now we have revolving door curtains.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll get an influx of women who go, finally, a golf podcast talking about childbirth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the birthing process affects us all.
Amen.
Yeah. It hurts men as well because they don't know what to do. And that confusion can be very painful.
Yeah. And hospital chairs and beds are very uncomfortable. So guys have to stay there for
And
at
the
least a
temperature's
day.
never right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is it even worth it? You know?
You're so exhausted.
Maybe this should be the last
He
generation.
said, "I'm over it."
Let's stop having kids as a species. Let's just coast out.
Oh, okay.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
I love a coast out. Maybe we should all just coast out.
Yeah, should we coast out this episode?
This little episode, yeah.
That's probably, there's nowhere else we can go.
No.
Did we have anything else that fun that happened to us this week?
There's another topic that I want to bring up with Hannah, but I think we could probably wait. She has a
Okay.
new hobby. We could tee it up a little bit. Rock climbing. You're a big rock climber now.
Yeah,
I am.
I want you to invite me rock climbing because I think I would be good at it because of my long arms. Me and
I think
Seth,
you would
I think
be.
me and Seth could zip right up the wall.
I think you guys would be really great. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. It's like my favorite hobby. It's both great in solitude and great with pals. So happily would bring you all along. I'm getting better and better as time goes on, which is also fun. It's fun to watch yourself get better at something.
Yeah, I could belay people.
Totally. Oh, you'd be so good at belaying.
What does that mean?
You'd be
Yeah,
nice
what do you
and
mean by that?
sturdy.
You are a great anchor.
You'd be a great anchor.
Yeah,
The
I've been bouldering for like the last 5 years. It's been put on some pounds.
bouldering. Well, that's what you mostly do, Hannah, right? Is bouldering. You're not like strapped in. You're just like, free climbing, but it's not that high off the ground.
Yeah,
But
I
you can
used
still
to-
fall pretty far.
Yeah,
From
I
there?
would say the highest it goes is what, like 20 feet in the air or something like that? No, probably 20, 25 feet in the air. 25 feet in the air. So it's a fall if you're up at the top, especially like the
25
harder.
feet is
Yeah.
really high. 20. These ceilings are what, like 12, 15?
Something
Is
like
it
that.
really? Then it's more like 20.
You go higher than the ceiling
Sometimes a little bit higher.
with no rope?
No rope.
If you fall, you die.
Did they teach you the right way to fall?
Well, there's big, thick mats. Yeah, they teach you the right way to fall, which is you always want to fall on your back and kind of like roll out of it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's hard to adjust. Sometimes you're up there and you slip and you're like, well, here we go. But I've been very fortunate that
Dang.
I try not to.
We should take a life insurance policy on Hannah.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, please. Then I'll fake my own death and get a little piece. Like those guys in the submarine. That's
Hey,
my
cut
conspiracy
that.
theory. I think they're all alive.
You think they're alive?
The submarine people?
Yep.
I think they got evaporated.
I think they're all really rich and they said, we want to get off the map. All my friends and family asking me for the handouts. Can you fake this blow up? I'm like, you mean tell me you're going to put 5 of the richest people in the world in a little submarine controlled by a PlayStation controller and then just going to disappear?
We have a rule on this podcast where if the conversation ever leads us to the submarine implosion, that we have to end the episode.
That's a good point.
That's fair. Sorry.
Thanks for listening.
Sorry. Bye.
Bye.